Hey everyone, I'm Alexis the Egoqueen. Love me, I know you do. Anyway, today we have this massive pile of stuff. And I'm sure you have a lot of questions about this massive pile of stuff. I don't know if I could say that any more epic, so I apologize. Anyway. This pile of stuff is mostly from my fiance, as well as a lot of it being donated here to the studio. Now, I know a lot of you are like, Alexis, you have a studio now. And I'm all like, yeah, I totally do. It's actually my second bedroom, and this is my studio room. You guys are slowly becoming familiar with this room, as this is where I do most of my voice acting, most of my building, my rants and rambles, as well as several other projects. In fact, my computer is right there, and I have my work table right here, as well as over here, which you guys can't see, which is conveniently off camera. I have all of my going out projects, as well as projects to be brought into the studio. But, this big pile of stuff, what is it? So, if you guys know, the Rants and Rambles series is mostly thanks to you guys. A lot of the stuff comes in to the studio, donated from all of my lovely fans, which I still have to come up with a name for my fans. I kind of like calling them Egos Nerds, or just Nerds. I think that works. But, today is a Rants and Rambles day, and this is going to be a lot of Rants and Rambles, because we have Forgebane down here, Tyranids, Daughters of Cain, Dark Angels, Genestealer Cult, Test of Honor, Astra Militarum, this is Tempestus Ions. We have a bunch of boxes that I can't see down there, Marathi, a ton of characters, including one that I just dropped, as well as some puppers. So, that all being said, characters include some of Dark Angels, Assassins, not Dark Angels, Dark Eldar, or Dukari, as they are more known now. We also have some Orks down here. A lot of this stuff is going to be for Dark Heresy, or any of the other types of role-playing games that you see on the channel, the Queen's Court series, which Queen's Court is actually establishing a lot of lore for the channel itself, including 2 inquisitorial characters, one being Inquisitor Hunt, my fiance, and the other being Inquisitor Rosalina, trained by Hunt. And Queen's Court is her ascension to being an Inquisitor. There we go, I can speak, I promise. It also goes into detail on some of her backstory, which does include the Sons of Garrow, which is the chapter's chapter. There we go, I can speak, I promise. I'm good at this. I'm really good at this. But today, we are going to be, oh yeah, there's also Demons in here. Oh, and Necromunda stuff. Oh, that's cool. There's also Train in here. I may have not looked at this too well. Oh, there's also Custodes. Okay, so today, we are going to be working on, oh, there's another character in here. The Primaris Lieutenant character, who's awesome because he has half his helmet off. That was given to me by a very special fan. He gave me another unit that's down here, the Toxicrene, which is going to be made into the brain version, whose name I can't remember right now, and it's going to come to me at the end of this sentence once I finish saying it, which is called the Toxicrene? Malinceptor. There we go. I knew its name. But today we are going to be working on a Goliath rock truck because I'm excited about Genestealer Cult. I want to get my Genestealer Cult back out of the closet, get them back onto the battlefield, and actually fight with them. Because You guys know, last edition, I played Genestealer Cult nonstop. They were a tier 0 army. They were one of the best armies in the game. They won games on turn 1, sweeping my opponent off the battlefield. This edition, they are terrible garbage, but I absolutely love my cultist little buggies. And, you know, actually, I shouldn't call them Genestealer Cult. I shouldn't call them Genestealer Cult because they're not actually Genestealer Cult. They are loyal members of the Imperium that just want to be in the forearms of the Emperor. Don't worry about that. That is not literal. Shh. Drink this lemonade. Anyway, we're going to be working on a Goliath truck. Or are we working on a rock lobster? I can't remember which one is better. I know one is a heavy support that transports 6, and the other one transports 10. I can't remember if it actually has the open top drills or not. Kind of hope it does, but actually I know it doesn't. Well, that's a shame. I hope it gets it. We're going to be working on a Goliath truck. So, let's get started. So, while I was sitting here being all, you know, myself and everything, I put down the Goliath truck and out of the cracks of my floorboards and from over here on the other end of my table, all of a sudden, more Genestealer Cult appeared. We have a Neophyte Hybrid Squad as well as Neophyte Acolytes. Or Neophyte Acolytes, Acolyte Metamorphs? No, Acolyte Hybrids. There we go. So these guys just kind of snuck up on me. I was not ready for that. You know, sometimes just a subterranean uprising pops up and you just don't know. And the planet just kind of falls apart and yeah, kind of stuff happens. I kind of want to build these guys. Not going to lie, I really like Acolytes. I really, really, really like Acolytes. I actually don't have any Metamorphs. Like, I think I have like 3. So that's a thought. But I might just build them as Acolytes, because these guys are cheaper and a little bit better in my opinion. And then, like, all of a sudden, Genestealers appeared. And there's a ton of them in here. We have, like, 16 Genestealers just chilling in here. So as you can see, the Genestealer Cult army is going to be a pretty big one. But I want to build the truck today. That's what I said we're going to build, and that's what we're going to build. So let's get this bad boy open. It's crisp. There's that new model smell. And you can smell the loyalty to the God Emperor. They're loyal. I don't see how you would think that they're not loyal. Don't think about it too much. In fact, get that Inquisitor away from us. We don't even want to talk to her. It's just rude. Now, we're going to take a look at this perfectly normal, not civilian, but worker class vehicle that in no way, shape, or form is going to be used for an uprising that you guys keep mentioning. This is just a worker style vehicle with loyal Imperial workers on it that are not going to in any way, shape, or form attack you. So don't worry. Shh. Quiet. By the way, I have pamphlets for a church that you should come and check out. You just need to walk down this dark alleyway with your eyes closed. And if you see a mutant, don't worry. They're fine. They're fine. That's just Carl. We call him Four-Armed Carl. He's totally cool. You'll love him. Instructions. I'm going to put these off to the side. Clippers. You're going to need these. File. I almost forgot what this is called. A file. You're going to need one. Super glue. Mine is leaking everywhere, which is perfect. And last but not least, the actual vehicle itself and all of its glory. It's a relatively small vehicle, so it's kind of adorable. I actually really like this truck. In fact, I think I have, 2 others. But I've always had, like, a place in my heart for this vehicle because it is just this silly-looking utility vehicle that is just, honestly, amazing. So we're going to go ahead and cut all of this off. Boop. Beep. Bop. And boop. So, for talking points for today, I wanted to bring up that I'm doing Twitch a lot more. If you guys haven't already followed me on Twitch, you definitely should. It's a little bit different than the mundane 40k stuff, although I do play a lot of 40k games on there. I'm mostly playing like, right now I'm streaming Overwatch because I'm actually having fun with that game, and I know a lot of people don't like it, and I know a lot of people love it. My main is Soldier 76, just so I don't have to be good at the game. Because, yeah, reasons. I'm bad at first-person shooters. Like, very. Okay. Next, we'll just pop out this bottom piece. I would love to put LEDs in these vehicles, but none of my other ones have LEDs. So I'm kind of, whatever about it. So I'm just going to go through, make sure all of this stuff is nice and flat. Just because I don't want to deal with this stuff not actually connecting. That's always annoying when that happens. There we go. Let's adjust the camera so it's just a wee bit up here. There we go. So how do you connect? It just, I'm putting it on backwards because I'm a genius. You know, it's my first vehicle and everything, and I'm going to keep making excuses. Don't question that I already said that I built 2 of these. It was a while ago. I forgot. I'm not going to glue it to my hand. My entire goal of today is to not glue it to my hand. Come on. Hold together. Thank you. See, you can do it. I believe in you. There we go. We're just going to hold this together for just a little tiny bit. And while that's setting, just put that over to the side. We'll get the rest of the pieces cut out that we need to get. And I might as well actually cut out most of these pieces. And I'm pretty sure we're just going to build a Goliath truck. I really think the Goliath is just a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. I already have one as the rock lobster, so I don't think it's entirely necessary. And cutting. Getting all this stuff cut out. Beep, boop, and up. So, reasons I like Genestealer Cult. They don't play like most armies, where most armies actually engage in honorable combat. The Genestealer Cult are just a bunch of average, for the most part, average dudes that are just popping up to beat the crap out of you and then dart away as quickly as possible. They are the ultimate hit-and-run army because they don't want to stay around for a prolonged fight. They know they can't beat you in a prolonged fight. But what they want to do is just get the planet ready to be taken over by Tyranids. They want to disrupt the planetary government, which, honestly, with our current president, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Genestealer Cult behind it. It'd be rather amusing. We're all Tyranid food. Go figure. Although that would also mean that the Genestealer Cult would have to get far enough to expand to every single military force on a planet, which, to be honest, isn't terribly too difficult. Especially being that we don't communicate with each other too much. So it'd be really interesting to see how a Genestealer Cult would operate right now. Like, honestly, I think the first place that they would have to hit and disrupt would be America. Now, they wouldn't want to accidentally trigger a world war, because we right now are, I wouldn't say we're on par for a world war, to be honest. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I think a Genestealer Cult, if they accidentally go too deep into the political sphere, they might accidentally cause a world war by trying to make one country drastically weak while the other countries are still there and still trying to be fighting for power and everything. So they really have to debate how they want to go about taking down our military. Truth be told, I think the best method would be to send our troops around the world on various patrols in certain areas that have little to no conflict, this way to maximize the amount of biomass. Send them to little to no combat, but far enough that they can't, they wouldn't be able to respond right away, and this way Tyranids would be able to take them out without too many casualties on their part. Now Tyranids, they normally don't care about casualties, but, you know, just in case. They want to harvest the planet and move on as quickly as possible. So once you have that happening, the next thing would be to attack every member of the EU, or send the world into a, well, into almost war, like a Cold War type setup, but without triggering the war. And that's the big important part, is they cannot trigger a war. So once they get that happening, each country will start pulling their troops away and pulling certain things back, and that's when I think the Tyranids would have to attack. While everything is getting out of certain areas, such as like the Middle East. And I personally think the Middle East would be a perfect spot for Tyranids to start, because they would be able to take out the bulk of most armies right then and there, because you'd have Russia and America. But since you moved most of America's forces away, they wouldn't have too much resistance and thus be able to make landfall while maximizing the number of the amount of biomass that they would get. Meaning the Tyranids don't have to completely go and use what they have. Then the subterranean uprisings and everything would make easy work of the actual governmental systems. So that would be taken care of. And then it's just infighting. And personally, I don't think America could survive a Tyranid assault. Actually, I know it couldn't. We simply don't have the manpower to fight that back. We simply don't have the spaceships to fight it back. That's how you beat Tyranids. You fight them in space. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure we get the top of the truck as well. But it would be interesting to hear how Tyranids would, how a subterranean uprising would happen on certain planets. Like, how would they do it on Mars? Would they be able to infect enough to get the Martians completely on their side? I know that there is a Tyranid Genestealer Cult on Terra, and that's not really a surprise, but it trying to deal with the custodians, that's going to be impossible for them. Well, I shouldn't say impossible, but it's going to be very difficult. In fact, I should do that battle. Like Terra's battle. Like, if I ever do narrative games, which I really want to do, if you guys ever find yourself in the New York area and wish to battle me, please come down to Games of Plunder in Cobleskill, New York. There, we can actually have a game. And it would be hunky-dory pudding and pie and kind of awesome. Yeah. There we go. So we just connected that. So we actually got half the truck already built. Now it's just putting these parts on and then getting the back cab put on. We're actually supposed to put the top on first, so that might be a pickle, because I never read instructions like I should. I'm kind of an idiot. Okay, let's try to do this without creating as many... Come on, you. Okay, let's just try to hold this and hope for the best. Was I supposed to put the front on first? No. Okay. Okay, let's just go right along here. Make sure all of this is nice and connected. So we got most of the truck put together. Okay, here's the front of the truck. For no reason, the front of this truck has always reminded me of the RV from The Lost World. It has nothing in common with it at all. In fact, the RV from The Lost World was a flat-fronted RV, so it really doesn't make any sense, but I think it's because of how the lighting is set up on it that just reminds me of it. I don't really know why. I just like industrial-looking vehicles. Like, definitely over-industrialized looking vehicles, like 40K's vehicles. But they just look kind of almost to the point of ludicrous. Like, honestly, why would you need a bulldozer with blades on the front of it? That's just stupid, to be honest. But it's just the right kind of stupid that's honestly amazing. Where you look at it, you're like, that's so dumb, but so cool. It's that level of stupid that I love about 40K. But honestly, one of my favorite things is they continue to make Space Marines even though they're completely inefficient. Now, you train a Space Marine for 10 to 15 years. Yeah, you get 100 years of service out of that Space Marine, but he dies. He gets shot in the head and he's done. And all those augmentations, all of that gene enhancement and everything that you just wasted on that Marine just went away. Mass-produced bolters, give them to guard. Have fun with that. That would be a hell of a lot easier in my opinion. And I know bolters are inefficient for guard because it's really tough to travel with all of that ammunition, plus getting the guard to an actual planet in a war zone. You want to maximize the amount of room that they have with all of their equipment and everything aboard big ships, but still, it just seems so silly. But that's the thing that I love. It is silly. And that just exploded. Because that's how silly it is. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love 40K settings. I do find some things to be a little bit too much, like too cartoonish. Like Space Marines surviving bolt rounds to the head. Okay, so this is going to be very awkward, but we're going to try to connect this to the best of my ability. Okay. Okay, so we just have to hold this thing here nice and tight for a second. So this is going to be a little bit annoying. Because I actually don't have any Instasat. That was actually just my hand stuck. That wasn't me getting something stuck to my hand immediately. Shush your face. Trying to get this to line up so there's no gap here. Oh, I see what the problem is. There we go. There we go. Okay. Just need you to stop being dumb. And... unfortunately, we do have a gap here, which is going to annoy the crap out of me. It's going to also annoy the crap out of my painter. I'm going to try my hardest to make that look normal. And I'm going to have to fix this gap with green stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to fix that gap. As you can see, I created a small gap in it. Oopsie daisy. My bad. Okay. I've got the song Master of Puppets stuck in my head. It's a really good song. It's better than last week when I had Hex Girl stuck in my head from Scooby-Doo. I get a lot of random songs stuck in my head. Okay. So... Okay, there's the next piece, nice and on. You know what it is? I love the look of these vehicles. I honestly, absolutely love the look of these vehicles. They're just so industrial, and that's what I love about it. Although there is a bit of an awkwardness in the back. We have a bit of a bubble with the back, but I don't think that's going to be too noticeable. And this I might actually end up painting just so it matches the other two. Okay, so now we can actually move on to the next page. Which we're going to nice and carefully fold over and go like this. There we go. So now it's telling us to put the panels on just to get the wheel wells covered, which is a really good idea. I mean, you never want those getting damaged or rusty. Now the one cool thing about Genestealer Cult armies is you can actually paint them an entire assortment of colors. Like your entire fleet of vehicles could all be different from different parts of the world and then just brought together to for the one uprising, which I think is really cool, and I think a lot of people are missing that. Me, I wanted mine to be unified because I wanted them all to be from Firecoth, which is a planet in the current solar system that I am working on for the cinematic universe of my channel. Is that? Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove all of this. Now, is this supposed to hang over a little bit? No, it shouldn't, but it kind of does. Weird. Okay, let's get a little bit of glue there. And just get this right in there. Go right at the end. Make sure that is nice and tight against the edge. Alright, so it's not perfectly balanced or lined up, but you know what? It's good enough. My stuff is never professional. You guys know that. Although I am getting all of the armies really well painted. Like my sister battle army is really well painted, and I have Geeko to thank for that. I did a few touch-ups after I got him back from him, but the bulk of my sisters have been painted by a person who goes by the internet name of Geeko. And the other ones have been painted by a guy who goes by Rockstar Sanguinius. He is a little bit of an infamous boy. I say boy, he's actually really old. He's a little bit infamous for his type of Marines, I guess you could say. His, well, not his type of Marines, his type of painting style for 40k. He's got a lot of waifus, like, on his stuff. Okay, Okay, now we just need the back piece of this thing. And I honestly love both of them for what they did and what they are doing for the channel. They're helping it and helping me get all of the studio armies ready. So this way, in the I want to say near, but it's like a year away, maybe even almost a year and a half away. But in the future, we're going to be doing more battle reports every day once we, and I say we, I mean me, you, and my fiance. Once we get down to Arizona and my fiance moves in, we'll be having a gaming table in our house to be able to film battle reports at least 2 to 3 times a week. The idea is that we want to bring you a good amount of battle reports with a large variety of armies, and we want to do a lot of campaign games. This way we can show off a lot of the fluff of 40K and how that can be implemented on the tabletop. Come on, just pop out. I don't need you. You're just that. Okay. So that's one thing that we really want to do for the channel. As I've stated this earlier, I want to do a 10,000 point campaign where we have multiple armies trying to compete for a system in a sort of Dawn of War Soulstorm style of game, which I think would be really, really, really fun. And I am super excited for. Number 32. Where are you? 32. But my babe will be running AdMech, Inquisition, and probably Astra Militarum. We're really not sure what he's going to be running for his third army. Where I'm going to be running Space Marines of the 3 different types that Space Marines, I'm just going to leave it at that. And insert the different types of Space Marines here, except for Space Wolves. Sisters of Battle and Custodians. Oh, Victor's going to be running Imperial Knights on the channel as well. Okay, now we want those bubbly things all over this craft. So going back to this piece really quickly. Where are they? I'm probably not going to put any of these guys on the vehicle either, mostly because I just need more bodies, especially being that I run these guys as Imperial Guardsmen. I thought for sure it was on here. Oh, I'm assuming it's these? No, number 30. Where the heck are you? Those are 11. Where are you? Number 30. I am not finding this at all, and this is really bugging me. Am I missing a sprue? No, I must be just missing it completely, or I'm really, really, really dumb. I might be incredibly dumb right now and just completely missing it. Alright, it's not important right this second. We'll get that piece in a bit. So moving on to the next page, we have the front panel of the vehicle itself. And we are going to go ahead, and that's where 11 goes. And I just saw 11, and I believe it was on here. No, it was definitely on here. I literally just saw it, and now I can't find it. These little hoops. Why can I not find those? Whatever. We need 34 and 35. So, where are they? Boop. And here we go. They are right. I am just not finding them at all. This is terrific. Why am I not finding these? Don't believe I used this for anything else. Let's get some stuff off this sprue so it's easier to search through. Let's get this stuff off. There we go. Okay. No, but the future of the channel includes getting down to, the biggest thing is getting to a place where I can film regularly. Because as it currently stands, I don't have a place to film regularly with a group of people that want to be filmed. I do have, and I mean local, like within like 10-20 minutes. The place that I do film at, which is Flipside Gaming, East Greenbush, which is an amazing store, by the way, and I absolutely love it. And I love the people that I get to play against there, especially Adam from Masters of the Forge. I love those people to death. The problem is it's not something that is sustainable. It is an hour drive. It is very far away from me. And truth be told, I can't keep taking that trip, especially now that winter's coming up. So there might be a dip in battle reports as I try to get through winter. Because it is a little bit difficult for me to travel. And we'll go ahead and put this right in here. Come on. No, I need you to line up perfect. Come on, line up perfect. I don't want to get you stuck to my hand. Holy cow, I did it. And I didn't get it stuck to my hand. Okay, we don't need this flamethrower because we're not building that weapon. So I know I don't need it. It can go back down there. And here's 34 and 35. We finally found them. So that means I can remove all of this from the sprue. Then we'll go ahead and get through this. Go. Boop. And pop. Also, we're going to be, once I get down to Arizona, we will have more people to play against, including a few of my friends, like Scruffers, who is on a podcast with us and Miranda, and my good friend Mope, who is the woman that always appears with me on Battlefleet and Chill. And she's an amazing artist. Beep, boop. Okay, those are ready. And now, we just need to get that on. Okay. This goes right here. So we'll get that on really quickly. So as you guys can see, the truck is taking shape. It is getting ready for its debut on the channel. I know these trucks are not that good, and I just love them for that. Unlike a lot of people, I like armies that aren't good, but I just like having a fun and fair fight with them. Down 30. Now 30 was the piece that goes here, right? Yes. Come on, don't get stuck where... Don't want you to get stuck. We actually did it. All right. Sorry that I was quiet for just a second. That is always a problem. I always am quiet when I'm trying to focus on things. Now, what else do we have? I don't need to worry about this piece because we're simply not putting it on. That's going to go into our bits box. We're just going to pop this off there as well. Okay. That's going to go into our bits box. That's going to go into sprues and probably eventually the trash. So now we need 109 and 31. So 31, or is that 13? Nope, 31. I don't see it on here, so it must be on here. Not this piece. No, 109, 109, 109. I used to live at a 109. Like that was the address. Where would you be if I was you? I would be right here. Okay, now we need to cut this very carefully as to not break it. Yes, and we didn't lose the piece immediately too. Okay, so where does that go? Right on the edge here. So we need a dot here, here, and here. And then we're going to carefully do this like it's freaking brain surgery. Okay, I'm just going to sand these down really quickly. Okay. Then we're just going to carefully... I said careful. Damn it. Come on. Okay, we got this. Come on. No, no, come on. Hang on. Nope, don't glue to my hand, you piece of garbage. Come on. Just stay where I want you to be. Damn it, damn it, damn it, I missed. Come on. Holy cow, I got it lined up. I am amazed with myself and I am amazing at everything. And I think that I deserve an award for that. Anyway, moving on from that. We need to put on these two little pieces, which is 44 and 45. So we just need to find those really quickly, which are right here. So pop that out, drop it, pop, drop, and we just need to lock it into place. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of that. Once you pop something, you do need to drop it, and then immediately afterwards, you need to follow it up with a lock. Pop, drop, and lock it. Okay, so now we actually got that on, which is, I'm actually doing pretty good with these tiny parts. Now we just need to find 31 though. Still, that's it's one of the pieces. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? If I was 31 and I looked really silly, there you are. Upside down. That's why I couldn't find you. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to drive one of these in a video game. Like, if somebody were to make a 40K video game, I want them to include this vehicle. I have no reason why they should, I just think it would be cool. Nope, scratch that. It would just be really, really, really cool. If you are a 40K developer making a game of some sort, you should totally make a Genestealer Cult game where you have to kill a bunch of Space Marines. And be as careful as possible because you're incredibly squishy. Like playing as like an acolyte, you get to drive into one of these trucks and everything. I think it'd be cool. Actually, it should just be like Inquisition versus Genestealer Cult. That would be an amazing game. See, I'm giving you guys all these amazing ideas for games and shit. I better get a thank you. Or the ability to voice act in it. I would take the ability to voice act in it. That'd be a lot of fun. 101. There's 102. Was it 102? No. I'm assuming this is 111. Boop. Okay. So then, this goes right here. So boop and boop puts that back on. And I think that is everything that goes on over here. We're getting so close to being finished. Now, I am not going to put the guy on top of this thing. I'm strictly going to just put it there and close this up because I really don't like the idea of them exposed, so I can't paint it. So that's me being lazy. Okay, so now what we need to do is get that big shooter. Big shooter. Oh my god, I'm thinking this is a truck. This is a Goliath, which is a truck that I want to buy in a Dark Heresy game. Okay, so now we just need its thingamajig, which I think is right here. Is that 83? 83, got it. It's not a it's not a clip, it's like, oh, what is it called when you have a drum-fed thingy? Or not a drum-fed thingy, but, oh, I'm drawing a blank at what this is called. Okay, where do you connect? Okay, how do you connect? Alright, gun going this way, you connect going this way. Yep, there you go. Okay. Boop. And beep. There we go. So that is the heavy stubber. We just need to put the number 84 on it, which is right 84. Here we go. And, oop. Now, I totally want to play a game, like just a video game, where you play as an Inquisitor hunting down some Genestealers, Autoxenos, and you're just, oh, that would just be so cool. Just to think about, like, you get full customization of your acolytes, like power armor, heavy power armor, any type of close combat weapon, any type of shooting weapon, and the acolytes get the, well, that's the inquisitorial acolytes, and the acolyte hybrids get to do the same thing. So you actually get this really, really cool fight between the two, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. Okay. That is one heavy stubber on this. Boop. supposed to have like a telescopic sight, but I really don't like the idea of it having that. But we'll put it on it. How does this go? Gun being this way, this piece going. Ah! I almost dropped it, sorry. I have no idea how that goes. Whatever. I will figure that part out later. And we still need 13. So that is right here. And pop this out and pop this out. I think about it, like the Acolytes Inquisitorial version could get Thunderhammers, and the other ones could get Power Hammers, and they could fight each other. Man, I think that would be cool. To balance it out, I would put a few bots on the Acolytes, the Genestealer team. Like just a bunch of bots that are running around with guns, just the normal neophyte hybrids, and you get a special one with them, but nothing too crazy. Nothing that would like throw the balance too far. Okay, so next up is the cage on the side here. Not the cage, but you guys know what I mean. I want to leave that exposed. I do want to put the barrels on the bottom, though. I really like that idea. So, that's not another weapon. Not too worried about that. And we'll pop this off the sprue. There we go. Okay, we are almost done with this vehicle. Okay, so we do need this piece. And we need to cut these out extremely carefully, because if we mess up, well, it looks like garbage. It's one piece. There is this second piece. Oh man, now I want that to be a game. That'd be so much fun. Sorry, I'm still thinking about the Acolyte game. I just want a video game where you get to play as an Inquisition. Like, not Inquisitive Martyr. That's just an Inquisitor running around beating the crap out of things. But like actual detectives, like a LA Noire style game. Where there is combat, but there's a lot of story-driven elements. And you have a system that actually takes into effect your charisma and all sorts of other things. And I would totally let it be like an online game, or you play with bots. I still think all of those options would actually be really, really, really cool. Unlike Fallout 76, which is just hard garbage. Which I'm really upset by the way. I really wanted that game to be good. So upset by that. My tummy is grumbling. I should probably get food. Like actual edible food. Okay, let's let that sit for just a second. We know this piece needs to connect here. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to go ahead and go beep, beep, boop and boop, and then just connect it to that piece. And while we do that, we are going to put 41 on here because I want this thing to be open. I really like having my Dynasty Star portal open. Somebody's going to get that reference. And if somebody gets that reference, they better put the entire quote in there. because I will be upset if they don't. Activate the Dynasty Star portal. Oh, I think this was the piece for the heavy stubber. Man, I really want that Inquisitor game. Oh, you can get so much cool gear, but it actually affects your subtlety. Like, people start suspecting you of being the Inquisition, and they start hunting you down because you're dangerous, because you're an Inquisitor. Oh, that would be so cool. Sorry, I keep thinking about this. Like, this would just be amazing. Like, an actual good 40k game that doesn't just go, hey, look, Space Marines doing Space Marine things, which are boring as hell. This would actually be, like, up there with some cooler stuff. Yeah, just go in nice and easy. Don't get stuck to my hand. There we go. That way it looks like it's nice and up. Perfect. Oh, I got this stuck to my hand. No, it didn't get stuck. Doesn't count yet. It didn't get stuck. Activate the Dynasty Star portal. Do you mean the Ferris wheel? Does she have to? Oh, it's actually a magical portal to Casteria. I know that entire quote. Really? That one is just not going to line up? That's cool, I guess. I don't get why that didn't line up. Everything else lined up. Look at this. It's just not going to line up. That's really annoying to me. Oh well. Oh well. We're just going to kick this into... try to get this done as quickly as possible at this point because I'm running low on footage and battery, which is always good. So, that being the case, we need 20 right here. Yep, we need all of this. So this is all of it for the fuel canister that goes underneath this thing. Oh my god, imagine all the missions you could get in that game. Go and find a renegade psyker, deal with Halbrel. You could literally just take the Dark Heresies game, go through its missions, and just make that into a video game, and it would be amazing. Just make it the most customizable game. And it would be so, so cool. And I'm sorry, but that would just be an amazing idea. Okay, so fuel canister piece goes up. It's going to take a minute to do, isn't it? Yeah, that's going to take a minute. So I'm just going to do that part off camera. Just because it's going to take a little bit longer than I want it to. Okay, so this page we're actually going to skip because we are building a rock. We are not building the rock grinder, we are building the Goliath. So with this, we're more than likely just going to use it as a piece in our terrain kits. We can also skip this, and I'll probably wind up giving this to an orc player for a death roller. So we could just go on to the next piece, which is them telling you to equip this here, which we're, again, not going to do. We can go over to here, and this is going to tell us to put the, does this thing skip telling you to put the autocannon on? Yeah, it totally does. Huh. We have to guess. That's really funny that this only builds the rock grinder. Or I'm missing it. But that's still really funny. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab all the pieces that we need for this. And I'm just going to make sure all of these pieces get cut free. Okay, so that's the wheels. Oop, and there's something about this army that I just find way different than any other army. It's a style of play that is both sneaky, but at the same time, it makes your opponent think way more than they should. Like every placement of theirs, it has to be carefully thought out, because if it's not, they lose. There's no forgiveness if your opponent messes up. And that's something that I really, really, really like about this army. The only problem with this army is that it is kind of a glass cannon, meaning if you mess up your placement, you're just as screwed as your opponent. So this army I would never suggest to somebody new to the game. I'd always suggest Space Marines or Necrons, as they are the easiest armies to learn in my opinion. And if I were to teach somebody the game, I would teach them with Primaris Marines, which I do at my store actually. Teach people how to play. In fully, I should have actually which I still could do with this one, make sure all the edges are down so that it perfectly fits. Now watch this one give me trouble now. Yeah, this one's definitely going to give me trouble. Okay, so now we have all the axles on. Now it's just about putting the legs on. That's what we're doing. We're putting legs on. Oh man. Okay. So I really want to check if we missed anything while building this thing to be the rock grind, not the rock. Yeah, it literally just skips how to do, it totally does. It completely skips it. That is really amusing. So if you guys want to learn how to build the Goliath, screw it. Really funny that they just completely override it. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and put a dot here, and attach this piece to the back. Then we need the gating here, which is these pieces right here. If you're new to the game and you start out with this army, you better be a veteran player of other strategy games, because these guys are hands down worse than Guard. Let's not try to beat around the bush. They are, at this current point, this is pre-Codex, They are just garbage. And I love them because of it. But we cannot ignore the fact that they are not that good. Especially with the FAQ stating, hey, you can't go into reserve. Or you can't pop out of reserve turn 1. Like your army is designed to. And, so if you are new and playing this army, I can help you out with list building and all sorts of things that can well, not really what is the word that I'm looking for? Not medicate. Maybe medicate? No, totally not. I forget. But if you're new to this army and trying to learn it, I can definitely try to help you out. Okay, I think it's this piece that we need. And this will allow us to put the twin autocannons on. So this thing hits on 4s, and if it moves, hits on 5s. Which I personally think for its points should have an ability where it just kind of goes nuh-uh and hits on 4s still. Because hitting on 4s is not impressive to begin with. So it just kind of makes a little bit more sense to me that its rugged construction should allow it to still hit on 4s if it moves half. Damn it, I had that perfect. Holy cow, I got that perfect yet again. So I just put the ladder inside it. So this is going really well. Now we just need the next few parts, which is getting the wheels on. We don't need that part because we're now putting in that. Is there something after? Oh, here it is. Here's how to actually put this thing together. It's after everything. It's really funny. Okay, so perfect. We got this piece. We just need the twin autocannons. I had a really interesting conversation with somebody who said that this was better than the Chimera. And I wanted to disagree with them. But at the same time, I was like, no, you're pretty much right. Point for point, this thing is a little bit better than the Chimera. But the Chimera is also for a better army, for the most part. Like, if you compare the Cult Chimera to this thing, then yeah, the Cult Chimera is worse. But if you compare Guard Chimera, which can transport guardsmen that have better abilities, then I'd say the other one is true. Also, you can get an autocannon on a Chimera. Autocannon, heavy bolter. It's pretty good to me. So, let's get this on. And let's get this popped. There we go. And now, is there anything that goes in between them? Yes, there is. There's a little piece right here. There we go. Now we just need to pop these two together. Okay. And does this go? This goes in. Okay, there we go. Pop this in, pop this in. Now we got that together. Now we just need the, there you are. Beautiful. Okay, perfect. We are doing really well on this thing. And I'm really happy about this. Beep. And last but not least, we haven't really glued anything to our fingers yet either, which is amazing. Okay, so now we just need 66 and we should be good. Which is what they're doing to the Space Marines right now. Somebody's going to get that Star Wars reference, and then they're going to call me a jerk. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this piece, and pop that piece, and break it right. Damn it. We broke it right in half. And so, oops. Ah, okay. Okay, that's supposed to turn. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So if I get this glued down, I can turn it. Okay, so let's glue this gun down, which now that I successfully broke its bar that goes around it, because that thing is an awful placement. Should actually cut it with an X-Acto knife, but I didn't, so oopsie daisy, my bad. So now it's just getting these wheels on. Wheels on the Heretic Mobile go round and round. Okay, pump, pump, pop, and pop. Come on. Okay, and we just about got this thing cleared. Okay, and pop these off. Now we have all the tires. I do want to see somebody take a make a conversion where they use the Ork tires, because I think that would be pretty cool. Like the Ork truck tires, I think would look cool on this. I know some other people who have put, instead of the side piece, they put the Camaro chassis on it. And I also think that's pretty cool. But that's not really my cup of tea. I do love when people do conversions. Absolutely love people's conversions. Because that's one of the big things that I love about this game, is the amount of people who do conversion work. And some of the conversions that you see, some of them are just absolutely insane. Like the guy who made, he has this Lancer, an Imperial Knight Lancer, and it's jumping and firing down. Looks absolutely amazing, and I got to talk with him. He's pretty chill. I think we're friends on Facebook. I'm actually fairly certain we're friends on Facebook. And with that last tire, we have one finished rock grinder. Well, we still need to put the 2 pegs here and the fuel tanks on it, but other than that, this is one finished rock grinder. I'm really happy with how this thing came out. You know what the cool thing about this tank is, though? Well, this can't call it an APC, this utility vehicle is, you can actually buy a bunch of these things and just put them onto your battlefield and make an industrial looking location. For instance, you can actually put barrels back here and make it look like an actual working vehicle, which in my opinion is probably one of the best ways to run this thing. Just if you're not running Genestealer Cult, get some of these. You can actually have some really cool terrain features with these. In fact, you can put some of them where you put some smoke in them and you have a burning truck. You can put some of them actually doing their job prior to being abandoned. And if you're running some type of manufactorum world in any way, shape, or form for your maps, I highly suggest you get a few of these. It just looks really nice. So, that was building a Goliath rock truck. As you can see here, I have my finished one, which it has been scratched up a bit over the time, over age and everything. It's fairly old. You guys remember when I first got this. This was back in 7th edition. Ancient times. I love this truck. Although I do see a couple of mistakes with it. This is a little bit loose. We need to fix that. But anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. As you can see, we still have a lot to go. Well, you can't see right now, but you can kind of see the top of the pile. But we have a lot of things to get through. And I want this to be what you guys want to see. So out of the pile, what do you want to see next? And if you would like to see something that has never appeared on Rants and Rambles, like an army that I've never built and done a Rants and Rambles about, what you can do is find the P.O. Box in the description down below, send something to the studio, and we will definitely make sure to do a video on it. Anyway, guys, I'm Alexis the Egoqueen. I love you guys. Bye.